Welcome back to another edition of Baseball for Maniacs. The topic of this episode is going to be what to do with Alec Bohm. Everyone knows his struggles. It's a glaring hole in the sense of last year he struggled in April, but at this time last year he was getting out of it to where there's what are you going to do with him? And that's kind of what we'll get into this episode. And I want to preface it by saying I can't imagine what Alec Bohm is going through mentally. This is the biggest year of his career to where it is his contract year. If he performs to the back of his baseball card, he is going to get paid. Not in Philadelphia, but someone is willing to take a chance or give someone a decent amount of money for his production. He plays a pretty good third base. He gets a lot of hits. I mean, we always saw Alec Bohm as a star, or that's what we wanted him to be. 6'5" third baseman, drafted third overall, and he's never turned into that. But for the majority of his baseball career, he's been a damn good player to where combine that with the contract year, him trying to get paid, his parents, it comes out that his parents stole money from him to where your support system that has raised you and has been by your side your entire career, you find out they betrayed you. I just can't fathom that to where I do sympathize with him on a personal level. Like, I hope his mental is okay. You saw Kyle Schwarber talking to him, I think, a couple weeks back. I hope that clubhouse is with him, and I'm 100% sure they are. But at some point, we are in the business of professional sports to where it's like, yes, you can sympathize with someone, but if you're not producing at the big league level, you can't just keep playing. You can't keep running him out. I mean, he's batting 159 with a 433 OPS. That his OPS is second worst among qualified hitters in Major League Baseball. To where, what would I do currently? So he got a mental rest last night. Mundo Sosa played for him. But I would give him the day off today. And I'd probably throw him back in there Saturday because I think they're facing a lefty in Kyle Freeland. I don't think you should put him back out there tonight. Like, I genuinely think he needs to just watch the game. Don Mattingly has been very supportive of him, saying, Alec Bohm's going to hit. And I firmly do believe that if there wasn't contributing factors from the mental side, because it's like last year it was just a struggle, but he got out of it. But now combine that with the contract year and everything going on with his parents, I just don't think there's a way for him to get out of it. But the current state of the Philadelphia Phillies is like, who is going to replace him? Like, if Aiden Miller's back was healthy, it would be an easy decision. Bohm's gone, Aiden Miller comes up and plays well. But I don't foresee Aiden Miller touching a baseball field this year, let alone a baseball bat. I just think that back is so cooked and so unfortunate. But you can't keep running out a player with a 433 OPS to where what you can do in this current situation, I would give him tonight off. Let him play Saturday, and then honestly, like a week or two, if we're still in the same spot, you're going to have to make a change. Now, what are the options? Edmundo Sosa is the easiest option to go to, right? Because he plays a really good defensive third base, and he has an knack for the big moments coming up clutch. He's done it for his last 4 years in Philadelphia. The problem with that is Edmundo Sosa, when he plays every day, he kind of gets exposed. He's a super, super utility player, but a below average everyday player. Now, if he gives you what I think he's going to give you, it's obviously an upgrade over Alec Bohm. But I do think you got to give Bohmer a week or two because when Alec Bohm is at his best, he's a much better player than Edmundo Sosa, and he helps this lineup out tremendously. People forget that he had an 833 OPS against the Dodgers and batted 300 to where we're running out of time. Like, that's why I say a week or two. So if the week or two doesn't go well, I think the Phillies should move on from Alec Bohm. I don't think you're going to find any trade partner. I really do think it's a DFA situation, and you wish him the best. You wish him everything well in the sense of what he's going on from his personal side, but we're 17-21. We dug ourselves in a hole to where it's like, it's not time to focus on, mental health and all that kind of stuff in the sense of it is a professional baseball team. You give them all the support you can, but at some point you can only do so much. So Edmundo Sosa would be my first option. Second option, which would kind of preserve Edmundo Sosa's role as a super utility guy, is bring up Otto Kemp to play third base every day. Otto Kemp's natural position is third base. We saw what happened in left field. I mean, just an absolute disaster. And I think that led into the hitting sides where he was too focused on making mistakes in the outfield and it carried over. But Otto Kemp, his natural position is third base. Last year, he struggled a little bit, but I attribute that to he had a knee injury. I think he had a strained kneecap from June on, and he played through it to where that limited his mobility. So my second option would be put Otto Kemp at third, see what he can do every single day, and give him that shot. The way the Phillies have been talking about Otto Kemp, like in the offseason, and then you kind of cut bait 2 weeks into the season. I mean, that feels like an organizational disaster. But if you bring Otto Kemp back, not only does that give him a shot that everyone's kind of been wanting in the Philadelphia organization from what they have said to us, but it also lets Edmundo Sosa continue to do what he does. However, that that's why I'd go with the Mundo Sosa at third over Otto Kemp because of the Bryson Stott situation. Because I firmly believe Bryson Stott is an everyday player. He hits lefties well, but what I think it does for him is if he sees pitching every single day, left side, right side, that's going to help him out on the right side so much more because he gets in more of a rhythm. We're seeing what is happening with Brandon Marsh when he gets to play every day. Now, going into the season, I was like, Brandon Marsh can't be an everyday player just because of how putrid he was against left-handed pitching. But things change in life to where you have to make an assumption in the present day to where Brandon Marsh has been playing very well, like so good against right-handed pitching. You had to give him a shot, and he had a really good game against the lefty Jeffrey Springs on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the days. And everyone wants to say, oh, that ball should have been caught by Lawrence Butler. It was so smoked 400 feet to center field. Like, give me a freaking break. But I do think you put Edmundo Sosa at third, and then you put Bryson Stott at second, let him play every day. That not only enhances third base, but what it does is I think he gets the best version out of Bryson Stott. So that's what I would do. That's why it's Edmundo Sosa number one at third base. Number two, if they want to go in that direction, you'd put Otto Kemp at third, but then that would mean Edmundo Sosa would play second base against lefties, which I'm not in favor of. I think he hits them well, but I think you got to get the best out of your everyday guys. They're the priority. And then the third option is Brian Rincon. Brian Rincon, I think this is not realistic at all. He's a glove first shortstop, 22-year-old in the Phillies organization playing Double-A, and his calling card has always been his glove, but he's killed it in Double-A. He is, I think, an 873 OPS, batting 263, to where it's like, I don't think it's realistic because he's in Double-A, and I don't think you want to rush someone like that due to a knee at the big league level. You can't sacrifice development just for, emergency. So that's why I think it's a third option, but I do think it's something to monitor in the sense of maybe the Phillies go down that route. And then the last option would be trade deadline acquisition, to where it's like, if the situation is that bad, like I said, I don't think Aiden Miller's coming to save the day in the 2026 season. You look to upgrade at third base at the trade deadline. Now, preferably, you'd rather Alec Bohm figure it out to where you can address another need of the ball club, whether that's an outfielder, whether that's another starting pitcher, another bullpen arm, because we're going to need some left-handed bullpen arms. Tanner Banks is cooked. Tim Meza has been good this year, but Tim Meza in a high leverage situation, I do not want to see that. Tanner Banks has been awful, and it kind of goes to that point with Meza and Banks to where Banks was phenomenal last year, but with his stuff, he needs to be perfect to where I don't want to just say, okay, Banks, you're having a bad year. Tim Meza, you get that role. Tim Meza was signed to a minor league contract last year, to where it's like, I don't think you could put all your eggs in that basket and then be surprised when it blows up in your face in October, to where ideally Alec Bohm playing well to his back of his baseball card is the best thing for the Philadelphia Phillies, so you don't have to go make that trade at the trade deadline. But overall, that's just kind of my thoughts on the Alec Bohm situation. Wish him well. Hope his mental is okay. I can't imagine it is, but at some point, we're heading into the dire times. Like I said, give it a week or two, and if it's still where it is right now, you got to cut bait and DFA him. But let me know what you guys think on the Alec Bohm situation, and as always, go Phils.